Hey, hey, my Pisces collective sun, moon, rising signs. How are you? How am I? I'm a Pisces moon. Woo! That was some waning moon tide. I'm actually doing this the Friday before new moon. Jeez, I'm doing these in dark moon, which is nice to tap into the futures of the collectives. And I won't say that I was dreading doing this one, but you know, the Pisces moon. Tricky. You know, at least it wasn't a Venus signs. Otherwise, I would have had to do Libra. It's just easier to be impersonal. And if you're any type of empath reader, you know that when it's impersonal, it just feels different. And when it's being recorded, it's a little odd. So it is my pleasure to do this for you, but I really, really made the blessing and the prayer very, very clear for the well-being of all, for the well-being of all, for the well-being of all. So let's dive in. First of all, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Mark A. Lyons, Mal for short, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions. Been doing this since I'm 12 and 51 years old. So yeah, like and subscribe because I'm not stopping. This is my new career. Talk about a tower and a death card moment last year. Yeah, okay, this is what I'm doing now. Thank you. 4 planets in Virgo. And to my subscribers, thank you so much for the love. Thank you for following along. I'm having a field day with this. It's 222 on my digital. Well, it's on my TV screen technically, but on digital readout. So 2 fish, 2 fish, 2 fish. Let's go. My angels, please. Oh, by the way, this is a what do I need read. If you're new to these, it's not about where am I, it's not who am I or what should I do. It's about asking the divine, not just spirit, the divine, what is it that I need through the angels, the gods, the masters, and the fifth dimensional and above higher selves of all involved. So let's do this. Here we go. Oh, I feel you. My angels, please. 1 card in clarity for this Piscean collective. Sun, moon, rising sign. What do they need for this new moon to full moon next? From Libra new moon to Aries full moon. Yay. Spiritual growth. Like anything else after that, I'm down for. I'm both up for that and down for that, right? Good. Now, these are quickies, so I'm trying to keep them like under 10 minutes unless something really, unless I'm really guided to go deeper into an interpretation intuitively. So check your other signs. I've even been saying for some signs, but possibly for all of them, this would be relevant. Put it in your watch later because it's only a 2-week lapse, right? We're not doing it for the month. Certainly for the Path of True Love reads and the Twin Flame reads that are monthly like that, worth looking at. Later, particularly in hindsight, you go, oh, so depending on when you're watching this. My gods, Mother Diana, the goddess Circe, the 2 fish that swim around. My throne of Pisces, please. 1 card in clarity for this Piscean collective sun, moon, rising sign. What do they need from this Libra moon, this Libra new moon, to the Aries full moon next? Well, the earthquake. 5 of Pentacles, I know. Rider-Waite Tarot, out in the cold, right? Bandaged and bruised outside the sanctuary, can't see it, right? This deck, I love the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. I've been reading it longer than any other deck consistently. Earthquakes take seconds. Really, a 10-second, really a 20-second earthquake is practically lethal depending upon its intensity or where it is on the Richter scale, but it's fast and it changes everything. So you need a shakeup here, but it might be that your spiritual growth, and it's not like you haven't been doing it for a while. Right? I'm not going to say we're the most spiritual signs of the zodiac, but we're the ones really connected to the unconscious mind, right? The interior collective, the collective unconscious. So with so much spiritual growth going on the planet right now, we've already laid the grid. Now the physical is shaking out. So it might be that your spiritual growth is really what you need to focus on as things shake out, that the spiritual growth is the cause. The earthquake is the effect, where most people would say, oh, things are shaking up, so I better focus on that. What do I need, right? What do I need? That could be, both can be true, by the way, not just in the collective, you feel that way, you feel that way, both can be true, right? We're imploding the 3rd dimension through the time corridor of the 4th and anchoring it, the 5th dimension, unity consciousness, yeah? So let's do this. Let's ask the masters about this. My masters, please. 1 card in clarity for this Pisces collective sun, moon, rising. What do they need for this new moon in Libra to full moon in Aries? What do they need? Doubt. Now, it might be that the spiritual growth is shaking up your doubt. Now look, I have that Pisces moon. So clearly, so deeply, really 8th house. Oy, in the house is Scorpio. So look, doubt is part of it, and you can get shaken by your own doubt, particularly if you go, I'm on my path, but just because shit's shaken out doesn't mean, look, it's in the suit of doubt problem, right? So the problem might very well be that you are doubting what? Your spiritual growth. We still have one more card down, but get that that's part of the path. Don't beat yourself up on top of it. Think of it this way. The voice of doubt is from the ego. Stuff that's in your cell tissues for ancestral patterns going back thousands of years, right? Things in the collective that might 2% of the feeling of the doubt might be you, 98% all of that other stuff, right? So give that voice of judgment, because what is doubt? A judgment, because it's feeling uncertain, it's not sure, it's feeling shaky. So by default goes to doubt. It's like automatic. That's how we're wired. It's how we're raised. I mean, for centuries. You want to blame your parents? Go back to Adam and Eve, right? They ate the damn apple of knowledge of good and evil. Spit it out already, right? You can't have doubt without polarity. Give it a voice, but give it an internal voice. Listen to it, hear it. And as that voice is heard, because it's usually the voice of the wounded inner child, which is really a great way of looking at the collective ego in general, right? The divine child that feels abandoned and bruised and kicked out of heaven, right? If you want to play the whole Lucifer thing, then that's the ego. That's totally from my Course in Miracles training. That's just my perception of it. Then to really love that voice, give it its voice. Don't act on it. Don't self-harm. But then it burns off that leaded judgment and reveals a golden nugget of truth and intuition within you. So here's how I've been dealing with judgment, and this one's going to go a little long, tough, before we get the higher self perspective for you. Nothing is stupid. I learned this from Matt Kahn. Number one, nothing is stupid. The moment you go, oh, that's so stupid, or I'm so stupid, nothing is stupid. Why? Because everything helps everything. The highs help the lows help the highs, and notice we can't do anything else but put that in dualistic language, right? Sometimes it's a bitch, sometimes it's a breeze, sometimes love's blind, and sometimes it sees, sometimes it's roses, and sometimes it's weeds. Thank you, John Bon Jovi, for writing that for Stevie Nicks. That song is a lifelong anthem for a lot of us Pisceans. Sun, moon, rising Uranus, doesn't matter. Sometimes it's a bitch, sometimes it's a breeze, and sometimes we're feeling both of them at once. Let's get your last card down, Whispers of Love. Please, the higher selves of all involved in this Piscean collective. Sun, moon, rising signs, life, and reading, please. What does this, a card of clarity, what does this Piscean Sun, moon, rising sign need from this new moon in Libra to full moon in Aries? Please, what do they need? Do something for someone else. Oh my God, this is so true for me. Give your attention to someone else. Now, that can be giving your attention to that child within, because technically it's not who you are. You're the immortal soul that chose and was chosen to play the role of the life that you're in. That's the fifth dimensional perspective. I'm going to say take it or leave it, but sooner or later we're all going to take it because it's the truth, right? So on your spiritual path, while things are shaking out, not a way to get away from your doubt, but a way to deal with your doubt, is do something for someone else. Put yourself out there in a yang way. Now, even if that's prayer, even if that's blessing, even if you're like, screw it, I'm not leaving the house, I'm too freaking empathic, I'm picking up everybody's everything everywhere, not sure if it's mine, doesn't matter, then walk your spiritual path, not for everybody else. That leads to martyrdom, not fun. But you can't, well, the martyr and the mystic, right? It's totally Piscean. I know, I bop back and forth between them, though the martyr is a very high spiritual archetype if you know how to make the lead turn to gold. Another conversation. But overall, what you need right now to really see that is, in order to deal with this doubt, yes, you may be shook, but it's part of the spiritual path. And, do something for somebody else. Again, even if it's for that child inside of you, but most of all, if you see that doubt in other people, just to be reassuring. It doesn't mean you have to say a word to them, but that you can do something for them, either energetically or physically. And it does not mean you have to deplete yourself. Yeah. Well, tricky read. Take yourself out of yourself by doing something for someone else. And then that doubt will clarify itself as the dust settles from the Five of Pentacles into the Six of Pentacles, which in the Daughters of the Moon Tarot is a success under handicap, right? Like you're crossing the finish line, but anybody in that race wins. Yeah. Wishing you the very best and the very best, my fishy brothers and sisters. But for now, blessed new moon in Libra to full moon in Aries next. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.